And we're back. We're talking. Okay. I can't do it. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Woo. And we're back. Welcome, guys, to episode 2 of Pies with the Pies podcast. I'm your host, Aaron, and I'm joined once again with Andrew. And every so often, we're going to be swapping out with the rest of the cast. So today, I have Serena and Gabriell.
Hello. Hey.
So what's up, guys? So as we're going to be talking about today's subject is going to be actually the history and kind of the beginning of the ministry and what we've actually been doing. We've been doing this for 14 15 years now, so it's been quite a while. And actually there's a lot of stories that we probably have, but I think that one thing that's actually quite interesting to everybody is just how did we even start. So
some might argue that that's the most important story.
Is it?
I mean, how you guys started, that's
true.
the start of the whole thing. This is when we got to traveling and ministering, and some people want to know the beginning.
All right. Well, with that said, I'm gonna kind of say the story a little bit here. We actually lived in Austin for about several years, 7 years or so.
It was 7 years.
About 7 years. So we lived there for about 7 years. That's why we actually say we're from Austin. Anytime anybody asks, it's because we lived there for that time there. Now, it just so happened that around close to September...
It was August of 2006.
August? Okay, yeah. So around August 2006, our dad, he happened to... His license was going to be expiring, and his was from Kansas. And so we had to make a trip over there. So it was just kind of like an excuse as well, because we were going to see, lifelong family friends that we hadn't seen in a long time. So it's just a good time to visit with family and friends and see and talk to people. We happened to also visit Pastor Mike and Minerva Garza, who happened to be me and Andrew's godparents. So we were there for a bit, and from there we happened to we were invited to join them on their Sunday service. And so it was just kind of a normal day. And then the pastor, Mike, he had asked my dad to give a couple of words, just to say a couple of things. And one thing led to another. And next thing you know, we're playing music.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, he was up there talking for a little bit, right? And then,
Why are we signing up?
Right. It was a long time ago. But, I just remember then, looking at us and you guys are going to go up and play now. And at this point in time, I think you guys remember everything. We only had literally a handful of songs. We just barely practiced in the room. And no experience in playing in front of people at all or anything like that. I mean, fake playing, maybe not.
Yeah, because the only experience we had was just playing in where we lived. It was just just one guitar on just some what was it, a little speaker or something?
Yeah, we had these little Yamaha speakers that had a built-in mixer in the back.
Oh yeah,
really right. But I think it was a studio monitor. Right?
Yeah,
and then Malene used to use a home theater subwoofer as a bass amp.
It was as a bass amp.
And Serena, you used my box as a kick.
Yeah,
as a kick
your
drum.
Recording case.
It was my recording case.
So and just her hi-hat, and then a practice
pad. Yeah, so that's.
We still got noise complaints.
We still got noise complaints.
So that was really the only experience that we had at that time. So it was just for us, it was actually something that was completely new for us. But we had never even played in front of people or anything like that. So I think surprisingly though, actually something that I came across was for myself is actually I thought I would be nervous for some reason, but I actually wasn't. As surprising as it is.
I'm gonna speak for yourself, because I mean I was so nervous. I remember my shirt was drenched in sweat, like you just see from the sides.
So nervous.
I don't know. It almost like I felt more nervous having to I don't know, sometimes practice in the room when someone was listening versus actually being there. I don't know why. Like actually that was one memory I really have, was that I actually was not nervous at all.
I think like it kind of, I mean, on my part, like it kind of goes a little, you know, like this, because you know, there was one thing playing in front of family, and I felt like that was very nerve-wracking. But I mean, at the same time, there's these people that have known us, I mean, since before you guys were born, you know. So that's family too, and it just puts this whole other pressure on you. They remember you when you were little, and now all of a sudden
pressure.
you know, I mean, I was only 11, but
the only thing I got nervous because Dad made us talk.
oh,
Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You say a
I'm
word,
gonna
I'm
say a
like,
couple
oh,
words,
God.
like
Like, even though I know them, I'm like,
Okay,
nervous.
I'm kidding, guys. I got nervous.
now you remember. But wait, for you, Serena, like, was it really like playing? Was it that nervous for you? I mean, being that you played before, like when you were younger.
The way I remember, not really, because it's all the years experience I had since I was little. Like, I had to overcome that fear and just do it.
Yeah, of course.
But so when with you guys, it was just something natural. Of course, you're gonna be nervous a little bit, but it wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
because I mean, out of all of us, you're the only one that had experience actually playing, you know, in church in front of
Yeah.
people and everything. So
So it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, you know, actually a question I had. It's because I was trying to remember, like, what was actually the first song we even played?
like to
I
start
think-
out with.
Yeah, I
don't
think
That day?
I think it was the Coritos, and it was
Ya Cristo viene. Yeah, now you got my memory going. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it was.
I think that's why I was scared, because I mean,
because you had to sing.
yeah,
She had to say-
oh my gosh,
Yeah, because for
was
that's
11.
I'm thinking that's the first song that we ever played.
yeah.
You know,
But
when
you
you
had like 3 different leads on.
yeah, I did. I felt pretty good. But I mean, like, you know, when you think about it now, it's just like so long, and it's like, you know, and to think that that was our first song that we ever played.
Wait, you had your blue hunter, right?
Yeah,
Your
it was
first
that
one.
first one.
Your little beat up on her.
Had like duct tape on
Yeah,
it.
it's but it worked.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I mean, it still's
times.
there.
yeah, it's still there. I mean, like, I being how long ago it was, I don't have too many like details that I can remember exactly. I just remember being just so nervous. That's all I can remember. Like just being like just beads of sweat all over my nose and just like trying to make sure to play that G chord correct.
You still missed it.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I don't know, but as weird as it was, like I said, once again, like for me playing, like I don't know why. I think I felt less nervous somehow. It just felt natural, I guess. I don't know. For me, I know maybe that's odd to say.
I think like playing the guitar, because I did on Quesadilla, right? Probably.
yeah, because you played. You had
My acoustic. I've been
acoustic.
I mean, that was fine, but it just being young. Every time I would sing, I was just always nervous. I mean, I remember Dad in one of our meetings, and that's just because it's just us family. He made me sing. I don't know what it was, and I was sweating all over. So, yeah, I mean, being at that time, I was so nervous. I don't know why. Every time I sang, I was nervous.
Super nervous, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I remember singing it at Caminos, but who sang it again?
Did it come in?
Oh, it was Sarah. She
Oh,
sang
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, Sarah Garza. She would be like what,
Wow,
our
I just
god
remembered.
sister, I guess, right?
I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, she's our mother.
But she's basically our cousin by now. I mean,
Yeah,
that's how
at
it
this
feels.
point.
That's how it feels. So yeah, she sang that song. So, you know, continue on with that story. It's actually, I think that we all knew from there that our lives were never going to be the same again. And from then on, it was like what, like, you know, it was later on in the month, in September 2006. We had you could say our first official service, because that was kind of like I guess an introductory service. But this other way, it was like our first official service where, you know, we actually, you know, got there and set up stuff, and then it was the whole family, like, you know, everybody, you know, because the only ones who played there at that time in Kansas, it was just like us, you know, me, you, Gabriell, Serena, Maylene. So it was just the 5 of us that were playing. So this other way with you there in Pearsall, Texas, that's where we had that first service. with I don't want to butcher the name. What's the
Pastor Morales?
Okay, from Pearsall, Texas, which is just a little bit south from San Antonio. So we played there, and we had set up that Saturday night. That's what we had set up, because we had a Sunday. We were going to have a Sunday service. We were going to have the morning service and then a night service. Yeah. And I remember setting up on Saturday, only because because the equipment we had, we didn't even know it was going to work.
Yeah.
Or
it's all old.
Yeah, because what kind of like speakers were they again?
I think old Rickenheim speakers that were probably, I don't even know, 20 years old even at that time. So by now,
50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some big old speakers.
Big old speakers. But I mean, I guess for people to take in mind, we set up this Saturday, okay, because at that time we had zero experience as far as setting up anything, playing in church. We barely had a handful of instruments, and the only instruments we had were instruments that were used, in the past generation with our parents and everything.
Yeah.
That's been sitting in storage for
yeah.
for years. So just had to blow the dust off everything and hope it worked.
You did. I mean, because you had to. Which amp did you use?
I mean, used Dad's old. Was it a Princeton? Amp? Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even a tube amp. I mean, so don't anybody think it was that. So it was just solid state amp. Barely worked. Couple knobs here and there.
I'm pretty sure.
But you had a quality guitar.
Yeah, it was a US Strat, my daddy's guitar.
Yeah, I'm guessing probably once those cones moved off the speakers, they probably just all the dust.
Yeah, just dust everywhere. I mean, he wasn't sure if it was gonna work. I mean, I remember those things were heavier than we were, trying to lift those things up. I mean, here I was a twig and trying to pick that thing up.
Yeah, I remember that. And then what was kind of weird, because we were still living in Austin there. We had set up Saturday night and then drove all the way back to Austin for the night. Only have to wake up early morning on Sunday just to go all the way back. And mind you, it's
we weren't used to it, so
yeah. But mind you, it was 2.5 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours.
And at that time, we never took any road trips or any far drives or nothing. So it's it felt forever.
Yeah,
I remember. And we had moved all that stuff in a U-Haul trailer, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's when then we had done that. So with that said, I actually kind of want to go through once we started doing that, what was kind of your guys' emotions or kind of the way you felt at that time.
Well, I mean, on my end, I mean, I had just barely been playing guitar for maybe 2 years, maybe. So on my part, and being so young, I didn't exactly know whether or not my position was solidified, as one would say.
Yeah,
as one would say.
So that's a big word for you.
It's very big. No, I didn't really know, and the guitar I was using was Andrew's old Slammer hammer.
Slammer hammer. Oh man,
it's like a step down from Squire. That's
what that was. That really.
The only effects we had was this distortion pedal called Fab Distortion.
Anybody who knows what that is, I mean, gotta give you high fives. You know what that is.
No, so I mean, I was nervous about that, and what's I gonna play? But I mean, going into it, I mean, I it's kind of blurry for me because I mean, it was such a long time ago. But I mean, once going through it and all of that, I just feel like it all felt right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It all felt right. Even though it's Fab Distortion and a PV amp from the 90s.
Tasty.
But here we are. And then Serena was using the old Yamaha drums, right?
I think they were 1986 Yamaha.
86.
Those toms, I just remember them being huge. They were basically kicks for toms.
I'm surprised they still worked. I mean, even the hits. I mean, I'm surprised it goes through.
Just right through.
I know.
Man.
But yeah.
But do you remember anything for the service?
It was emotional because it was finally finally we're doing this after so many years, because I missed it. All those years I was missing having church, because it's just something that's already a part of you. Yeah. And to go back to it is wow, and finally you go because God says to do it, and it just made it more, how should I say, much better.
I mean, yeah, you just feel like, you're finally fulfilling your purpose in life, because, you're doing the calling that God has for you, and, going out and being in a ministry. And I got to say that for myself too. Besides all the nervousness and everything that came into it, you know what, there was still something inside of you that just felt like so right about it. Like you knew, like, you know what, I feel like I have purpose. This is what I need to do. There's nothing that felt like, forced or scared, or maybe that you didn't want to or weren't interested in it, but like everything was just like, it was just excitement, and it was just like, you know what, this is God's calling for me, and I feel it with all my heart and everything like that. And you just felt so excited for every service you had and everything you had to do, because you knew that you were just fulfilling God's purpose.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess that's probably why I keep saying it. Like, I guess probably why I didn't feel nervous so much, because it just felt, I guess, so natural to do it. So, just feeling so fulfilled and just feeling so like whole, because it just, it felt like something you were always supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so, like, and I think even for myself, it's something I carry all the way till this day, all these years later, like literally almost, it's been 15 years now. So, when you think about it, it's like, and this is like nonstop, like, not taking some kind of break or something, or, going, taking a year-long break or something like that. But this is just nonstop, that it's kept going. And, just that same feeling of just feeling like this is just, you just feel whole to do it.
Yeah, and I think I can agree and relate to that a lot, because I mean, being at such a tender age, it just felt like the right time for it just to for it to happen, for it all to come together. And that's the wonderful thing about God's timing, to make it happen in that time, and how much we've grown from it, and musically and also spiritually, and everything that we've seen so far in all of these years. I mean, we have countless stories, we all know that, but just so much that has progressed in this process that we've been in, and I know that it's just only gonna take off from there. But to go back and think to those days, it's so crazy, and sometimes I wish I can go back and to my little self and be like, it's okay, you'll be better.
He's always there by your side.
Yes. If anyone wants to know what bongo is, it's a stuffed animal I've had since I was like a year old. So.
He used to be by your amp, right?
Vintage.
Vintage. Gotta have that vintage stuff.
Yeah, well, with that said, right now we're going to take a little bit of a break. I got a couple more questions for you guys, but we're going to continue this right after our little break right now. And we're back. We're talking. Okay. I can't do it. Okay, let's go. And we're back. Okay. Well, actually, I want to continue off of a part that Gabriell was saying, which I thought was really interesting, which is, what would be something you would say to your younger self, seeing as to all this time has gone by? Is there something like you would think, like maybe a piece of advice, maybe something you'd want to say, I don't know, comforting words or something?
I think one thing I would probably tell my younger self is invest in YouTube. It's going to be big. No, in all seriousness, I don't know if I would have much to say to my younger self as far as like, playing on stage and everything, because, you're going to go through the nervous. I think no matter what pep talk someone gives you, you're going to get nervous.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to change that. So, I would probably just, the only thing I would like to do about my younger self is just watch myself playing. Like, man, you are terrible. Just god awful. So it's like, I just want to see my young self just for a good laugh,
I mean, I would probably, if I had to tell myself advice, like on the stage or anything, like I'd probably tell myself, like, I don't know, practice moving your fingers, because at the time I only used to use two. I used to look like a T-Rex or something, because that's all I was able to use was just the two. There are things that I can do now, like simple things on the accordion that I consider simple now, that I used to cry myself to sleep just because I couldn't do at the time.
You weren't very good.
That happens.
Yeah.
No, I had the same problem too. I couldn't use my pinky when I play guitar. Like I actually wasn't able to use my pinky until I broke my fingers, and then I only had like 2 fingers left. I had my index and my pinky, and I'm playing guitar doing that. Why did I play guitar? It's because I love the guitar. No, but it was because of that. That's the only way I learned how to use my pinky better. So that's when I got shredding on a guitar and all that fun stuff. Shredding.
Just shredding those strings apart.
So was there anything you would say to yourself, Serena?
I would tell myself, buy a metronome, please.
Yeah, we could
The
use
music
that.
was crazy back then.
Yeah, no,
Like, it was too emotional that it was just going fast and slow at the same
I
time.
mean, we know people probably say it all the time when they listen to our CD, like, man, they were off time. We know.
We know.
We know we were off time. We hear it too. We don't
It's
just be like,
like,
oh,
here?
it sounds good.
It's
Like,
awesome.
no, we know it was off time. If we could have a chance to go and re-record it, we would do it. But, it's all in the past now. It's
It's
there.
all a learning process.
I mean, yeah.
For real though, I actually would at some point. I would actually like to, like, I don't know what do they call that? Like when they like redo a song, like, and they'll have a whole new album.
Remix.
Is it a remix?
Maybe, yeah, remix.
Like I would like to get like 1 or 2 songs, maybe. I don't know which ones yet, but 1 or 2 songs and like do a remix, but play it like
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, there's
Actually on a tiny-
yeah, actually on a metronome. Like,
Yeah.
please. I mean, why didn't we use it?
Hey, but that's true though. I wonder now why we didn't use it when we would practice when we were younger. We always used it.
Yeah, we
Well,
did.
I think.
Well, we had an old one, like the ones that actually.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
what
now
do we
we
think?
don't.
I don't know.
We didn't have phones then, so
Yeah, but
It
it's
wasn't
kind
that
of
easy.
it's kind of like what Serena said, which is true. It's just that, like, I think for us it was just new to play, so
Yeah.
there was just a lot of emotion in the playing, and so not to say like emotion is bad. Like you want to have feeling, you want to have passion when you're playing, but sometimes there's like a balance between like having I guess still having that same pattern. Or
Well,
what's
like
the word?
I usually like to say, like, especially in practice, I think it's important to be professional first, and practice every single piece, every single instrument, every single section, and then you're prepared now for the actual service, and you can put your now emotion in that.
Yeah.
But I think professionalism is extremely important since the beginning of it.
Yeah, because I think then because of that, then we kind of got like overwhelmed. Like we feel pretty good at playing, and we're pretty happy and everything, and then it just obviously those emotions started building up, and that's when then you start
You
like,
buy more.
faster.
You buy more gear. It's no longer fab distortion. It's fabulous distortion.
The upgraded version. That's funny.
well, was there anything else you wanted to say more, like that you would say to your younger self? Because I know you only said it like a little bit.
Oh, right. I would blow the surprise and say to my younger self that at 13, your parents are going to buy you a Les Paul Studio Gibson.
I was
So relax.
Yeah, I was there too. You started
strap.
crying.
Nice.
She was literally crying of happiness.
She was like,
I thought it
no,
would be
and you
something
were
else.
sick. She
I
was sick
yeah.
that time.
I was
And we
crying
brought her the
eyes
guitar.
out.
I remember I was just like, wow, where's my guitar? Like, come on, guys.
You had your daddy's.
I mean,
strap.
but like, come on, guys. We know. Come on. No, but like, it's all.
But you know what? I think you've seen, how much you progressed, how much more, and I don't know. It makes you kind of want it, like it makes you strive to be better. To I don't know. You feel like you're worth, getting that instrument.
Yeah,
and
you
I mean,
do.
I've also seen people with beat up instruments who make it sound like amazing. It's about, of course, allowing God to work in you first, and all that. But I mean, it is a wonderful and beautiful thing when you can have this nice, wonderful instrument.
So then, with that said, what would you guys say? Would you feel like, because obviously with some people, some people don't understand like maybe a bit of the difference between like going with something that's more value price, if you will, kind of something easier to buy versus something a little bit more, I guess, on the high end. Like, what would you say, like, to you, seeing as to we started out playing, with, not the best instruments, obviously. Well, I don't know about you, but
That's true.
obviously with something like something of lesser quality at the time versus like something like being able to upgrade, like what would you say is like something you guys feel that is different, you know, with the instrument? Because I mean, I would say like, for example, like the accordion versus like something that at that time, you know, you're having like air leaking out, the buttons feel different, you know, just even the straps, everything else is feeling different versus like, you know, something like now it's a little bit more smoother sound, obviously easier to play, easier on the action. So then that allows you to do more things with your ability to have that.
I mean, yeah, I think like, you know, with each instrument, you know, you can, I feel like a different side of you comes out depending what you're playing. Yeah, you come into a guitar center and I'll play, you know, 3 different guitars, and there's this other, I don't know, they just, all of them bring something different out of you each time, you know. But I think at the end of it is that you don't need to have this instrument that, you know, costs $5,000, whatever it is. It's not about that, but you know, at the same time, it's like if you're dedicating all of this to God, it is also important the quality that you do have. And also on the other side, it's like, well, if this is the life that you're planning on living and achieving and all that, well, you know, the instrument's going to last you longer. You know, the higher quality, it's going to last you longer. You know? And I mean, that's how I feel about that. It isn't everything when you buy the most expensive instrument. Yeah. But I mean, quality is going to last you, you know, a lifetime, you know, depending on exactly what you get.
I mean, it's true. I mean, I mean, as cliche as this sounds, but you know, I think, you know, the price tag doesn't matter. It just matters the love and the dedication you have to playing that. But I do really believe in just, you know, doing and giving the best you can for the God that you serve. So when you play up there, you know, don't just, you know, be halfways about things or be like cheap about it, because that's the part thing I do. If you're willing to spend this or do this and that for your regular life, then you have to be the same way when it comes down to God. Yeah. So if you're wanting to go get those, you know, really nice, you know, Jordan shoes, Jordan 13s or whatever. I don't know much about Jordan, so don't quote me, guys. But still, if you're wanting to spend the money on those things, you know, you have to be willing to do the same thing for God. You know, if you want to spend money on your haircuts or your car or, you know, your nails and makeup, like, you know, you have to still be willing to do the same thing for God. So that's the important part.
I think that's the problem, is that I think a lot of times in today's society, in today's time, like people, in a sense, people don't see it, but like we try to glorify ourselves because we say that, oh, I deserve this and it helps me feel better in my life. But yet at that rate, then when it comes then to God, we always think of second hand in order to do that. And so, like, you know, now of course, like, you know, there are some people who could only do certain means. But at the same time, I guess the thing that comes behind it is always to do your best.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, it's literally like what you just said. It's about doing your best. It's not about doing the most expensive. It's just about doing what you would do then for yourself. Yeah. You know, putting that towards God, putting your best towards God.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like, to me, an instrument is about feeling it. Yeah. Sometimes I have too much expensive taste. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put it back.
Yeah, you know, seeing those
it
drums.
Sounds so good. I'm like, but by the time I look at the price, I'm like, oh Lord, help me. But DW has always been my.
I mean, Pearl.
Oh, come on.
I'm just kidding.
No. Actually, the one I really loved was Tama. The first time I hit those babies, oh my God.
What kind of wood was that? That's
Babinga.
Babinga.
Some weird name. Babinga.
It's like some kind of Brazilian rosewood. I think that's what it is.
I don't know what it is.
How you remember?
But I mean, you would say
because I thought it was exotic.
Right, they were exotic.
Brazilian rose.
But I mean, you would say you're a DW fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a DW fan for sure. I like those 4 toms, especially that lower. I might get an 18, Andrew.
At an 18, we're gonna be booming out there.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get on the comments saying like, "Oh, try Pearl or
Yeah,
Gretsch."
No, I like Tamas and DW. Those are my 2 favorite.
Okay, so you know, continuing back with the story. So from there on, we transitioned and we worked our way to the West Coast, where we were in California. You know, the next following months after that. So, that for us, that was completely new experience, like actually traveling at a distance, essentially giving up where we were and the previous life we had, and completely, changing that to actually do something that completely felt right to us. That the only word for it was God's calling.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, of course, as kids, we're already being used to traveling, as younger kids. But I guess now feeling like, you're the one up in front, you're the one who's like actually doing something now. So now, like, like you said, now you're just fulfilling God's purpose. Now you're fulfilling His calling. And I just remember, first then going to the West Coast, going to here to California. Man, exciting times. I just remember, like, it was so fun, just traveling and seeing all this other stuff. Now we're here, it's like, California.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. We like California.
Just kidding. Except the traffic. I mean, anybody living here, you gotta like be on board with it. The traffic is not fun around here.
Yeah.
But I just remember just it was exciting, and fun, just doing it. And of course, at that point, after a while, the nervousness starts going away, and everything just starts running smoothly. You already know how to start setting up, and everything's just going great.
Yeah. At that rate, though, to help me out with this, but like, how old were all we at the time? Because we were like 15, right?
We were 15. Yeah.
So how old was you?
I mean, we're 3 years apart. I was 11 when we started.
11.
11? Wait, 11?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, the math ain't right.
Wait. Yeah, I think I
No,
think you guys
you had to be 12.
You guys
You
had
had to be
already
12.
turned 15, and my birthday's in December.
Oh.
So then I turned. So I think by the time
You
we
were
went
about to turn.
by the time we went to California, that's when I had turned 12.
Oh, okay, now that makes sense. Okay, now I get it. My math
So it was that time. Then you were 21,
22.
22.
22. Oh, time
So
goes
it made
by.
Mei-Ling like
20. No, 20. She was
19, 20, yeah, depending on the time frame.
Wow.
And then Ryan was basically your guys' age. So
Man, time just
Chris.
goes on by.
Chris
Chris.
was a chancho.
Chris was out.
I don't know. At the time,
My
he didn't even
goodness.
play anything. He would
No,
just
he didn't
sit
play.
at the front with his mom.
Yeah, it's just that little.
And then he started off with what?
The cowbell.
Cowbell?
Yeah.
Which he wasn't very good at all.
That's why he just got promoted.
Just promoted to
Just
Cowbell.
promoted.
I'm just kidding. We give him a hard time. And so, man, when you just think about it, like when you think about it, it's really truly like a lifetime. Like
Yeah.
when you think about it, it's just like so many things that have happened, and in all these years, like countless stories and countless things that have happened. Like it truly is just a lifetime. And when you think about it, it's like I find it like amazing to do this, because it's like you get to experience all these things, you get to be with your family, and then best of all, you actually fulfill God's calling in your life. You're able to actually go around the world. Well, fully not around the world yet.
In
Yeah.
faith, we are speaking already.
Yes, we're getting there. But you get to go all around and be able to just preach God's word, and just be able to share with them that He's real, and the same way that He completely changed our life, that He wants to change yours too. So it's just amazing to be able to be a part of this.
Oh, got a lot of stories. And that's what we're going to be getting to in these next episodes.
Yeah, trust me, we got
Plenty.
plenty of episodes of stories.
So, yeah, I think that wraps it up. Huh?
Yeah, it sure does. Until next episode, you guys take care. God bless, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right, bye.
Bye.
everybody.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please give it a like and be sure to subscribe. Also follow us on Instagram to get updates and watch videos behind the scenes, and become a part of these videos by sending us in questions and suggestions. We post weekly about faith, life, and ministry. Thank you, and God bless.